In 2008, husband and wife team Nate and Brandy Conley were just reaching the peak of their racing career. They had just qualified for the X Games and were set to tackle the mountain in the Piikes Peak International Hill Climb. But that's when their lives changed forever.
The green flag dropped and we were going, and then next thing I knew, Nate kind of just told me to hold on, and we hit a tree. And, you know, from my perspective, I didn't really know exactly what was going on.
Both Nate and Brandy went to the hospital with broken backs and the uncertainty if Brandy would even walk again.
One of those memories you're never going to forget. I mean, it goes from the worst day of your life thinking that you paralyzed your wife.
You know, we were in the hospital for, Nate never left my side, but I was there for 2 weeks.
When the Conleys left the hospital, they didn't know if they'd ever get into a race car again, so they took a year away from the sport and they shifted their focus towards having a family. Their son Ryder was born, and after that, they had a new perspective on life as well as racing.
Enjoy being mom and dad and be the typical family, and that was probably the best time we ever had, is just being mom and dad.
I was extremely nervous at first. You know, the first time, you never know how it's going to go. But then once I realized that he could do it without any problem, you know, I was fine.
Once they got over those nerves, the perfect opportunity popped up in their own backyard. The last leg of the Global Rallycross Championship made a stop at Piikes Peak International Raceway.
I decided, well, let's take the car down to Revolutions, get it prepped, and just put a small budget into it just to see how bad we're going to get our butts kicked. And end up being, we go out there and get top 5, and it's the most elite drivers there is.
Nate's performance at PPIR earned him an invitation to this summer's X Games in LA.
I was just thinking that we get to rub paint with some of the nicest cars and biggest names in the sport.
No matter what happens at the X Games, Nate and Brandy are already winners. In Colorado Springs, Sam Farnsworth, KKTV 11 Sports.